Good morning and welcome to our inaugural Changemaker Showcase. I'm Annalise Hoops, the founder and executive director of the Changemaker Project. First off, I want to thank all of you for being here today to support our Changemakers. Whether you are a teacher, a student, a family member, a mentor, or a fan, we're so grateful that you're here. 3 months ago, we came together to help these students win seed funding for their social impact projects at Global Pitch. Maybe some of you were there. All 30 teams that participated in the event were fully funded, and over the last 3 months, we have mentored them as they've launched and executed their projects. Today, we will see the impact that they've made. I hope you're as excited as I am. Like Global Pitch, we'll have 10 teams present in the main room this morning, and then we'll open up the breakout rooms for even more teams to present on their topics. For each team's project, we'll play their 2-minute impact video showing the impact that they've made, and then we'll have 1 to 2 minutes of Q&A from the audience, so you'll get to participate. When everyone's finished, we'll come back to the main room and we'll vote for all of our favorite teams in the People's Choice Awards. And you might notice we have even more teams today than we had at Global Pitch. And this is because not all of our students needed funding in order to successfully execute their projects. So they didn't all attend Global Pitch, but they're here today to show us their projects and the impact they've made. So I want to start by sharing a little bit about the Changemaker Project in case you're not familiar with our work, just to show you what we do. So I'll go ahead and start my screen. So as you can see on our slide here, we have our Instagram and Twitter handle, We Make Change. This is a great time to take out your phones and check out our social media accounts. If you're not following us already, check us out. You know, in this day and age, there's a lot of sad things on the news. And if you want to get some good news, check into our social media because Christina here actually curates all of it for us and does an amazing job finding young change makers who are doing incredible things to make the world a better place. And I feel uplifted every time I look at our social media. So I hope you do too. I also want to point out our Changemaker Showcase. Looks like we got some feedback here. I'm gonna mute everybody. All right, so you can check out our hashtag Changemaker Showcase. If you want to post anything about the event today, you could post a screenshot or post some reaction to what you see. And you'll have a chance to engage on social media with us. All right, so I want to just begin with a short video, which I'm going to, let's see. This is a video of our students talking about the program.
The Changemaker Project is a program for young people who want to make a change in their world and go from the process of having even the smallest idea to a fully fledged project by the end of the year.
I have actually realized how huge the spectrum of different issues around the globe is.
As you can see by our 3D model, we have a shape structure.
We are creating an educational video series that will train 3rd through 5th graders.
We came up with this project to tackle the problem of poor sanitary conditions at the dummy market.
I can now say that I am a leader and a change maker.
I am capable of more things than I thought I was.
Thanks to the Changemaker Project.
If tools such as the Changemaker Project meet people who are motivated and capable, that's where change is made.
The Changemaker Project has restored my faith in humanity.
And I have a hope for our future.
All right, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what we do. And you're gonna get a lot more of an idea today watching our students' impact videos. So our curriculum has 3 main components. We do leadership development. We try to help students to cultivate these 5 leadership qualities to help them be successful change makers. We help them to understand the issues, the kind of wide range of issues that exist in the world, and then they choose one that they want to tackle, and we help them to build solutions. So we teach the design thinking process. And I love this quote: "The greatest skill that I gained from participating in the Changemaker Project was empathy, because when I did my empathy interview, I had to put myself in their shoes." And we hear time and time again that students really benefit from the empathy piece. They might come in with one idea that they think is great, but then when they do their interviews, they realize that their solution or their idea doesn't quite meet the needs of those they're serving. And so they pivot their idea and they redesign with the, with the folks that they're trying to help in mind, and really understanding those needs. And then we have a global pitch event every year. So this is an opportunity for students to win funding for their projects. And this year, like I said before, it was very successful. We had 30 projects and all of them received funding that they needed to execute them. So over the last 3 months, students have been implementing their projects. We have a wide range of things that students have been doing to support their communities, make the world a better place, and really tackle issues that they think are really important. All the students get to choose their own project just based on what is their passion and what they care about most. Over the last few years, I think we've been around now 4.5 years, and we've reached over 2,000 students now in over 30 countries. And what I love about this is that we're creating an international community of changemakers that can connect with and support each other. We have a live call every week where students get to know each other from all around the world and really get to understand different cultures and different perspectives on different social issues. Once they finish our signature program, they have a chance to join the Leadership Pathway, which is a new initiative that we've started to try to support students in their ongoing change-making journey. So students can earn a new leadership badge each year, as they develop and build their social justice projects. They can start a new project each year, or they can build on one that they've already started this year. And they also get an opportunity to mentor students in the new program. So it's an opportunity for them to really develop their leadership skills. This year, our theme was diet change for climate change. So you'll see a lot of projects in that vein. Here's some students from Singapore who have implemented a Meatless Monday program at their school and trying to encourage folks to check out plant-based options. We have a diet change for climate change grant opportunity. If anyone is interested, we've given away some mini grants, and the opportunity is still open until June 15th, I believe. So Maya, if you're here, you can just go ahead and put the link in the chat for the Diet Change for Climate Change mini grants initiative. All right, so lastly, I just want to talk about opportunities to contribute to our work. So if you're here today and you're really excited about what we do and you believe in our vision, there are different ways that you can get involved. So first off, you can volunteer to mentor a team next year. So all of these students really benefited from the support of mentors. And if you have some time, our minimum commitment is just one Zoom call, give some feedback to a team, help them get an outside perspective if you have some expertise in the area that they're working in, or you can mentor them more ongoing. So that's an opportunity. You can also join our fundraising advisory board if you want to help us connect to funders and help us raise funds for this organization. And then finally, you can join our monthly giving program. So we really rely heavily on the generous support of individuals who are kind enough to support us with as little as a $10 a month donation. And I have an exciting opportunity just here today, which is a partnership with Curacao Chocolate Company. So this happens to be my favorite chocolate company. It's an organic, fair trade chocolate company that makes absolutely amazing artisanal vegan chocolate truffles. And if you become a monthly donor today, by midnight tonight, if you sign up as a monthly donor, you can receive a complimentary box of chocolate truffles from Curacao. So we're really grateful to Curacao for supporting us. And I want to thank all of our sponsors. In addition to Curacao, I want to thank the Pollination Project and North Berkeley Wealth Management, who have funded a lot of the projects that you see here today. So this wouldn't be possible without them. I want to thank Wix for donating premium website subscriptions to a lot of our teams that are here today. And I want to thank the First Republic Bank, who has kindly sponsored this event to make it possible. And finally, I want to thank Umano Foundation, whose generous support allows us to do this work. So thank you so much to our sponsors. All right, so I'm going to stop my share there, and we are going to get started.
During this year's project, I tackled the troubling issue of educational inequality. This issue has led to a lack of access to essential items like reading books for students in underfunded schools. My solution to this was to work with an after-school program in an underfunded community and give 30 books to the kids within the program. The books I chose to read to the kids were made with the intent of representation and impact. While reading to the students, we talked about important concepts, and questions that were brought up while reading were answered. Some topics discussed include dream jobs, the idea of working hard, colorism, and loving yourself no matter what. At the end of each book, we discussed the issues within it and what we each got out of it. During the reading of the book Solvi by Lupita Nyong'o, the kids had a conversation with each other where they concluded that they were all the same, regardless of their color. Also, when reading, there are times where we stopped and gave the kids the option to read to us, which some accepted gladly. At the end of the project, my friend and I gave 17 books to the kids, which they all enjoyed by hugging us and thanking us. The remaining 13 were donated to the school. A memory that stuck with me was when a Hispanic girl who was learning English read to my friend and I rather than the other way around, and that was something that really warmed my heart. The purpose of this is to instill the love of reading and learning in young children, which would give them the drive they need to further their education. A great thanks to the Pollination Project, Maya, Zaid, Ms. Hall, Cheyenne, Jan Clinton, and all other anonymous donors for making this project possible.
All right, let's give a hand to Nadia, everybody. If you want to unmute and give her a hand. Excellent job, Nadia. So do we have some questions or comments from the audience? You can go ahead and put it in the chat, or you can unmute and go ahead and ask your question. Anybody have a question? We've got 2 minutes for Nadia. You can go ahead and chat to me if you have a question for Nadia. And Nadia, do you want to wave hello?
Hi.
We can't see you. Where are you? Let me try to find you.
How I decided which books to choose, I chose to get books that were diverse because a lot of times in schools, there isn't a lot of diverse books for kids that are in marginalized communities. So I decided it would be more beneficial to give them the chance to read books that had people who look like them, while also giving them the opportunity to expand their knowledge in education.
Awesome. Thank you, Nadia. And we have another question. Did you have any trouble or challenges gaining access to students in the schools?
Yes. It took me, I think, a month or two to find a school to work with because a lot of them are really busy and couldn't because I was not within the district, it was hard for them to get in contact with me.
Absolutely. I remember that. And to me, that is just a marker of your amazing resilience. Nadia really went through a lot to get into that school. And another question, are you going to expand your program next year?
Yeah, I am thinking about joining the leadership project. So I'm thinking about doing it to other schools in the future, which is something I'm excited for.
Amazing. All right, let's give Nadia a hand. Awesome job, Nadia. Let's all unmute. Beautiful job. Excellent. So Christina, you can go ahead and share our next video. We have Let Richmond Breathe.
Hi, my name is Eli, and my project combated Richmond, California's staggering asthma rate. Richmond is home to the Chevron oil refinery, which tends to explode and flare, sending noxious gases into the atmosphere. Air polluted by the refinery finds its way into Richmonders' lungs, giving Richmond twice California's rate of asthma, and preventing many children from participating in their PE classes. To combat asthma in Richmond, I first considered going after Chevron by staging a protest. But Chevron is a multi-billion-dollar global corporation, so organizing a protest would have a minimal effect on Chevron's operation. I decided to purchase air purifiers. Air purifiers combat both asthma and exposure to pollutants. At Global Pitch, I raised $1,870 to purchase purifiers. After doing some research, I found a cost-efficient air purifier from Avoid. I used the money I raised to buy 23 air purifiers supplied with replacement filters to extend the purifier's lifespans. I then reached out to Lifelong Medical, an organization that provides much of the Bay Area with free health services, which includes asthma treatment. Lifelong has recently built a health center in Richmond, and they were excited to work with me. I asked Lifelong to distribute the air purifiers only to children because asthma prevents young people from running and playing, from being kids. As of yet, Lifelong has distributed one air purifier to a high schooler named Angel. I hope that my project will make his life more enjoyable. And, according to Lifelong's estimated timeline, I hope to improve the lives of another 22 children within 6 weeks. I wanted to thank Renata Feinberg, Guillermina Flores, and Cindy Curiel at Lifelong Medical, Enrique, a TCP mentor, and Annalise, as well as my parents, grandparents, and everyone else who donated to my project.
Thank you so much. This is really going to help with my asthma.
Let's give Eli a hand. Wonderful job, Eli. All right, so we have some, let's see if we can have some questions for Eli. Who has a question? I'll start my 2-minute timer. Who has a question for Eli? You've got a comment. Great job, Eli. Way to give back.
Eli, what was your favorite part of the project?
Looks like you're muted, Eli, or we can't hear you. There you go. Oh, no, we still can't hear you. Uh-oh. Do you have headphones in maybe? Maybe we should come back to Eli. Do you want to maybe go to the next video and we'll come back to you, Eli, after this? So hold your questions for Eli. You can put them in the chat if you like, and then we'll come back to Eli. So Christina, up next we have Asian Pride Books. Let's check it out.
Hello, my name is Cynthia Han, and this is my project, Asian Pride Books. My topic that I focused on is Asian American discrimination in the United States, which became more noticeable during COVID-19 and showed just how terrible this discrimination is. I believe this to be a very significant issue that needs attention because it affected me, my friends, and my family outside of school. The solution that I selected was to create a children's book with an Asian American protagonist to show the subtle discrimination and issues that Asians go through on a daily basis. The main audience are 6 to 7 years old, and this book can be enjoyed by children of all kinds regardless of race. I chose it because I want to combine my interest in storytelling and drawing into my solution. Not only have I written out the plot of this book, but I also illustrated panels by myself on Procreate. This story was also inspired by experiences I had in my childhood. When I was little, I also grappled with how I look, especially my eyes, and in comparison to my classmates, most of whom were white. So Milia's story reflected that she struggled with how she looked, wondered why she didn't look like her friends, and saw herself as not pretty because of how she looked. Towards the end of the book, however, with the help of her mother, Amelia learned to embrace her culture and become proud of how she looked. As of this video, I have printed about 150 books and sent 25 of them to my donors who supported me about GoFundMe. In the future, after this showcase, I plan to send more of my copies to daycares, libraries, more specifically the elementary library in my district, and churches. I also plan to do a read aloud at Coleman Hill Elementary School, as well as send every elementary teacher in the 1st and 2nd grade a copy of my book. Thank you so much for supporting me, my project, and listening to my showcase. I really appreciate your help. I can't wait to do more with this project during the summer.
Beautiful job. Okay, let's give a hand and ask questions. What was your biggest challenge in writing the book? Start my timer.
My biggest challenge was scripting out the book to have an appropriate story to tell to little children. It's sort of the delicate balance between telling mature themes of racism and still having it kid-friendly or understandable enough for children. That was the biggest challenge.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And what are students' reactions to the book?
So far, the reactions or feedback I've gotten were rather positive. They listed the reactions that I hoped or expected to get. I gave a couple of copies to my friend Ali, who's also on here, because she was babysitting, and the kids she was reading it to really liked the book. They actually became more interested about Taiwanese culture, which is great. And they picked up the theme or message that just because someone looks different.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And David asks, how do you identify your audience and reach out to them?
Well, let's see, how could I answer this question? It was mostly just researching different ways of media to reach out to people. I identify children as not the easiest way, but the most effective way to perhaps cultivate understanding or empathy early on so they can grow up to understand people more. I think that's the reason why I chose little children.
Wonderful. And Jen asks, do you have a copy of the book you could show us?
I do. Just give me a minute.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can come back to you. But actually, she's leaving. Okay, she'll be right back. Oh, there she is. Oh, you got it. Okay, yeah, show us.
Yeah, I printed out 150 copies. I just did a head count this morning. It's very blurry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Gosh darn it. A head count this morning, and I believe I have distributed 35 books in total, so 10 more books since the making of that video.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right. And Peter asks, how can we contact you if we would like to have your book in our school library? Is there a website or an email you want to put in the chat?
I am planning to put it on Amazon or Amazon eBooks. So if you search out, it looks amazing. Probably sometime within this week, you'll probably find some and you can probably buy or purchase them. I'm still deciding on the price range.
Okay, do you want to put the title so that at least we can like look for it when it might be out?
Yeah, sure. Let me
put the title in the chat or any other way that we could stay in touch and find out about it. Will you be updating your GoFundMe page? You could put your GoFundMe page on the in the chat. You want to do that?
Sure.
Then that could be a way for people to kind of stay up to date if they want to get your book. All right, wonderful. Let's give Cynthia a hand, everybody. All right, and next up we have Net Zero. We have Allie's project. Let's hear from Allie.
Hi, I'm Allie Cooper, and I'm a tennis player in Armonk, New York. As a tennis player, I realized just how many tennis balls were being thrown away. Upon further research, I learned that 125 million tennis balls are being thrown away in the US every year, and that it takes over 400 years for them to decompose while releasing greenhouse gases. In my research, I found a company called Recycle Balls working to recycle tennis balls around the US by collecting them and turning them into horse arena footing. I loved the idea, but I knew I could do even more. Here's how I took action. I fundraised $1,000 and started to put my project together. I created receptacles that improved on the recyclables bin to include a regular recycling bin for tennis ball tubes, a container to collect pop tabs for recycling, and an educational component in the form of posters with important facts on the issue that would be on the receptacles. In addition, I worked with my school's media club to create a PSA featuring my state-winning school tennis team and pro tennis player Kevin Anderson. Now this PSA has reached over 1,000 people. Since implementing the receptacles in the first location, 1,200 tennis balls have already been collected for recycling. That's over 45 tennis balls and almost 6 pounds of waste diverted from landfills per day. Additionally, members of the club shared with me how impactful the introduction of the recycling receptacles has been to them. I've also led a workshop for 6th graders, teaching them how to be more sustainable in their favorite sports. For the future, I have plans to implement receptacles at 2 more clubs, and hopefully even more after that. Also, I'm working to create a press release to be featured in local news to reach even more people with my initiative. I hope that I'm able to not only impact players by teaching them to recycle in tennis, but teach them the importance of sustainability in every aspect of their lives. Thank you to my donors, family, teachers, Mr. Melso, Kevin Anderson, Coach Racanelli, and most importantly, the Armonk Tennis faculty, especially Kelsey, Doug, and Greg, and also Armonk Tennis members for helping me to make all of this possible.
All right, awesome. Let's give Allie a hand for her great work with Net Zero. And who has a question for Allie? You can go ahead and put it in the chat. And then after Allie's questions, we'll have questions for Eli if his mic is working. All right, so let's see. What are your ideas on how to, oh no, that was a question for Cynthia, I think. Or maybe it wasn't, Mila. Was that a question for Allie? Yeah, I think that was a question for Allie. What are your ideas on how to transport this product to different schools? Let's see, I'm not hearing you for some reason, Allie. Uh-oh. Can you hear us, Allie? Uh-oh. We're having two problems with mics today. All right, let's switch over to Eli. Eli, have you gotten your mic to work? Eli, are you there? Eli still has not gotten his mic to work. Boy, we're having some mic issues today. Okay, so let's see. I guess we will save our questions for Allie and Eli still. Hopefully you can get that straightened out. If you have headphones in, I would recommend taking those out. If you have anything plugged into your computer, maybe try a different way. The other alternative is you can call into the Zoom. Just join in with your phone with the phone number, and that usually works for audio. Okay. All right, well, let's give Allie a hand again, and we'll come back to you with questions once your mic's working. So just let us know, give us a shout out when you're ready, both of you. Okay, great. So next up, we have New Destiny Tutoring. Let's hear from them.
Education is a massive problem in New Mexico.
Hence, much worse for minoritized groups like immigrants.
So our solution was to offer kids the chance to be able to be tutored, and these were kids specifically from the immigrant and refugee resource village of Albuquerque, otherwise known as IRVA.
With 100,000 funds raised through the Changemaker project, we purchased 2 shelving sets, flashcards, paper, gas to transport the students from their homes to the tutoring center.
3 Acer Chromebooks, and that's about $582. File folders for $8, some writing utensils for $11.64, 15 notebooks for $14.55, and 3 headsets for $44.97.
Here are a few testimonies describing the impact we made.
Hi, my name is Ngazi Senandile. I am the founder of New Mexico Women's Global Pathways and the co-founder of the Immigrant and Refugee Resource Village of Albuquerque. I, alongside my husband, Lungile Senandile, I coordinate tutoring for the children who are refugees from Africa, who struggle a lot in school. While they may be able to speak very well, upon closer examination, the children are struggling to read and write English. So we're thankful for the funding because it allows us to buy gas so that we can pick up the children from their homes, bring them to the center, and then take them back. And also the funding allows us to buy healthy snacks for the children. Thank you very much.
Thanks to all our donors, especially North Berkeley Wealth Management, for making our impact possible.
Now, in conclusion, I would like to give a huge thanks to the Changemaker Project, not only for mentoring us, but for helping us raise the funds. And lastly, a big shout out to Mr. Luke's, our teacher, for his constant support and guidance on all our issues. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Let's give a hand to New Destiny Tutoring. All right, do we have questions for this team? Any questions? Who has a question for New Destiny Tutoring? What a great project, very needed. Was the student role focused on fundraising or being involved with the tutoring? Great question.
I think for me specifically, it was more of fundraising because I was not able to make it in person at the tutoring center. So I joined online. And on the first day, I joined online with the students from Kenya. So their students spoke Swahili, and the students spoke Swahili with the immigrants kids, and they were very excited, very happy. I could see the excitement in their eyes, and I was really excited to see the students laughing at that part. So for me specifically, I was more concentrated on the fundraising, but for my other 2 teammates, they were even in the video at the tutoring center, helping tutor the kids. So kind of we shared the responsibilities among ourselves.
Excellent. Yeah, it was a good team effort. And just so everyone knows, they were from 2 different schools coordinating. So it's our first time a team has been from 2 schools working together. All right. How did you have to adapt your project due to challenges?
Yeah, it was really difficult. First of all, we had to kind of find a location where we are going to have the tutoring. And also after we had a location, I remember the first day, we waited for like 30 minutes for the kids to arrive at the tutoring center, but it was difficult. And then like they were 30 minutes late because the director driving, going to gather the students from their individual homes was having troubles and issues. So there were a lot of challenges on the way, but we persevered and we kind of adapted to the changes, especially kind of with the funding. Well, like for example, there was no Wi-Fi at the tutoring center on the first day, and it continued for the next couple of days. But then we had to work and solve the issue with the Wi-Fi and as well as other problems in order to coordinate. And I remember Mr. Lux even had to join the Zoom on his phone so that I on the other side of the screen can join in with the students. So it was really challenging, but then we still persevered.
All right, amazing. Let's all give a hand to Melvin and the New Destiny Tutoring Project. Awesome job. And I think we had a few questions in the chat, so you can go ahead and respond to those if you'd like, Melvin. You can respond to them in the chat. All right, so next up, we have Students Against Period Poverty, but I'm not sure they're here yet. Is anyone from Students Against Period Poverty here? They are in South Africa, and I know they have a lot of internet issues, so they may be joining us later. I think we'll go ahead and skip that team for now and go into Forest Makers. I know Dignity is here, so let's go ahead and play their video.
Hello, we are Forest Makers from Dombojuk Secondary School in Zimbabwe.
My name is Joseph Chwan from Dombojuk Secondary School in Zimbabwe. We are here to address climate change.
So far, we have planted 50 trees. We are planting more as we remake our forest. From our nursery, more trees will be donated to the communities to come up with their own woodlots to save our African forest.
Hi there, I'm Tiwane Nyasha from Dombojuku and my partners. We planted all these trees and we are not going to stop. We are going to plant more trees to address the challenges of global warming and climate change.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Chekechi. As you can see, we have planted all these trees and we want to thank the Mangwende Orphanage Trust for giving us these trees.
Hello, I'm Belinda Jarangand. These trees give environment oxygen. Besides, they'll give students fruits.
Hello, my name is Tutendam J. We want to plant our own nursery with various trees which are going to donate to the community.
Hello, I'm Tadiwa. We started this program at school, but we want more trees to plant and to donate for the community.
We want to protect these trees from bad weather.
All right, wonderful. Let's give a hand to the Forest Makers. Okay, so Forest Makers students couldn't be here, but their teacher is here to represent. So who has questions for this project? Start my timer. You can put your question in the chat. Okay, how did they acquire the trees? Great question. So Dignity, go ahead. Spotlight you. Let's see, we don't hear you, Dignity. Can you unmute yourself? It's like you are muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello? Oh, you can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the students, we were lucky. We did not receive funding, but there was an organization that sponsored us and gave us the trees. So we said no. We solicited for the trees actually, and said we should get something done. So just to inspire the kids and to make them contribute to the fight against climate change, We then came up with the trees and we were able to plant those trees. And we intend to plant more, as we said in the video.
Wonderful. And we have some questions in the
So
chat.
the trees, yes.
Oh, sorry. Where did you plant the trees and how did you select where to plant them? Was it hard to find a location to plant the trees?
Okay, it was, it's a school orchard. It's a school orchard. That's how we planted them, but there are extras there. We still have more trees that we want to plant around the school.
Wonderful. That's terrific. Okay, well, let's give a hand to Dignity and the Forest Makers. Project.
Thank you.
Wonderful, and thank you so much for being here. All right, so next up, let's see. We have Project Plastic with Amy. Can we show her video?
Hi, my name is Amy Gagliardi and I'm a junior at Byram Hills in the Global Scholars Program. For my project, the issue that I chose to focus on is plastic pollution because it is such a prominent issue in our society. Plastic pollution is a huge issue in today's society because over 300 million people rely on the oceans for their livelihoods, and yet 8 million tons of plastic enters the oceans every year and only 9% of plastic is recycled. Plastic pollution has been detrimental to the environment, to animal health, and even to human health, which is why it is such an important issue in today's society. In order to combat plastic pollution, I decided to create a website in order to teach people about the ways they can make a difference to help stop plastic pollution. The website I created includes information about ways to make a difference by providing ways that people can change the amount of plastic they use in their lives. It also includes promotion for various plastic cleanup events and links to different educational videos so that the user can learn more about plastic pollution. I chose to create a website because I wanted to create a place that people can go to in order to learn more about plastic pollution and the things that they can do in their lives to lower the amount of plastic they use. I was able to share my website with the principal of the middle school, and she shared the website with around 30 teachers who teach various subjects and grade levels so that they could share it with their students, who in total amount to around 550 students. I also created a lesson plan for teachers to use so that students can explore my website and commit to things they will change in their lives. I will also be leading a workshop at the Power of One Day, which is a day-long event where middle school students can learn about the ways to make a difference in the world, in order to share my website with even more students. In the future, I plan on continuing to work on my website by adding more information and more plastic cleanup events that are happening. I would also like to share my website with other schools so that more people can learn about ways to combat plastic pollution. I would like to thank my teachers, Mr. Smith and Miss Layden, for helping me develop my idea into reality. Thank you.
All right, let's all unmute and give Amy a hand. Awesome job, Amy. Okay, so if you have a question for Amy, go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay, awesome project. Can you share more about the feedback that you received on the lesson plan? Great question.
Well, I was actually able to do the lesson plan at the Power of One Day, which I talked about, and the students seemed to like it a lot, and they were able to learn a lot more about plastic pollution, which is my goal, so that's a good thing.
Wonderful. Okay. More questions for Amy. I have a question. What was your favorite part about the project?
Probably when I was actually teaching the students, because I was able to see their faces and see how they were reacting to all the information, which was really cool.
Wonderful. And what motivates you to take action to address plastic pollution?
Probably because I could just see how big of an issue it is just in my life and around me, and I know it's worse in other places too. So I just want to help change.
Wonderful. All right, we still have a minute left. Any more questions for Amy? Got lots of kudos to you in the chat. Can you share your website with us? Great question.
Yeah, I could put the link to it in the chat.
That would be wonderful. Yeah. And what is your plan for expanding the program or expanding to more schools? Do you have any plans for the future?
Yeah, well, I would like to expand to other schools and share the website with other school districts. So I could probably just email them. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Excellent. Any more questions for Amy? All right, let's give Amy a hand. Good job, Amy. Such an important issue. All right, so next, let's see. I want to go back to Eli because Eli was able to get his mic working. Yes, so we had a question. What kind of engagement did you get from the families of the kids receiving the purifiers?
Not that much engagement. I worked with the health clinic in Richmond, so they did most of that part.
Right. So you haven't yet received feedback from families, but is that part of the plan? Like, are you going to stay connected to them?
Yeah, I might check in with some families to see how it's going.
And you got to meet Angel, right? The first recipient?
I didn't meet him directly, but they sent me a few videos of him talking about it.
Cool. Awesome. And what are your next steps? Question from Jen.
I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about that, but I think it'd be nice to follow up, potentially buy more replacement filters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let's see. Doug wants to know, how are the kids receiving air purifiers being chosen?
It's all people who go to the health clinic, Lifelong Health, I think Lifelong Medical, sorry, in Richmond, which are people who are struggling financially around Richmond.
And it's kids who have asthma specifically, right?
Yeah.
In Richmond. Great. And what motivated you to work on this project? Do you or someone you know have asthma?
I don't have asthma, but I was just reading about the high asthma rates in Richmond, and it seemed very important. I spoke to a former PE teacher in Richmond, and he told me that like many students in his class weren't able to participate. So it seemed like a very important issue.
Absolutely. And did you contact Chevron? And if so, what was their reaction?
I didn't contact Chevron because I don't want to work with them. I think contacting Chevron, potentially getting money from them, only worsens the issue because Chevron is very deeply rooted in Richmond, is like providing most of the jobs and is a firm grip on the economy. So I think working with Chevron would only further the injustice in Richmond.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Eli. Let's give Eli a hand, everybody. Good job on your project, and I'm glad you got your microphone fixed so we could hear from you. All right, now, Allie, have you been able to get your microphone fixed?
I switched to my phone, so hopefully it's working.
All right, so Allie, we have some questions for you. What has been the response to your recycling plan at the tennis club?
The day that I did implement the receptacles, I spoke with a lot of members, and a lot of them were telling me that it was a great idea. And I saw people like leaving and coming back from collecting a bunch of tennis balls to their home just to bring them to recycle. So it was really well received, and people are really enjoying recycling, feeling good about themselves.
Awesome. And I think this question was for you. What are your ideas on how to transport this project to different schools?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to expand to other schools and clubs. Hopefully I can create a presentation that kind of shows what I've done and plans that I have for how other students could implement this at their schools. I'm hoping to bring it to a school in East Hampton that has a lot of tennis courts and have a student kind of work with me and follow my process in a way that makes sense.
Wonderful. Okay, any other questions for Allie? You can go ahead and put them in the chat if you think of any more questions for Allie. What does it take to get the balls to the recycler?
So the program that I'm working with is actually really good. Hopefully I can figure out how to get them. They're supposed to be picked up at the facility that they are recycled at. For now, I've been driving them from my local tennis facility just to a UPS store, so not difficult at all.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's give out. We've got one more kudos. I really like Allie's idea to write up her own experience to share with other schools and tennis facilities. Absolutely. Yeah, all right, great job, Allie. Let's give Allie a hand. All right, okay. So next up, we have Seeds for Our Future with Shira.
And fighting climate change, but often I feel like anything that I do isn't really going to make a difference, and I think a lot of people feel that. So after talking to a lot of local nonprofits, I realized that a really good way to actually make an impact at the small scale of a personal project is to focus on education and reaching children who maybe don't know yet about climate change and how they can make an actual difference themselves. Since if each person knows what the problem is and how they can help, that's the biggest change that can happen. And so I looked into Fletcher Middle School, which is nearby, and they really don't have any environmental education because none of the teachers are focused on that. And I decided that having a hands-on activity that demonstrates the benefits of plants and some environmental practices is the best way to reach the children. So I ended up starting a garden at Fletcher Middle School. And so this is the garden beds they had before they were really dead and hadn't been planted in many years. And so we added in compost to make the soil healthy and suitable for plants. And I taught about how nutrient cycles can support plants and also support carbon sequestration. And then we actually planted the plants, and I'm going to be continuing to teach lessons about plant-based eating and other healthy environmental practices at club meetings going forward. Thank you.
All right, let's give Shira a hand. Awesome job, Shira. Who has a question for Shira? Any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I also want to point out we have some of our community supporters here who helped fund these projects. I see Doug is here. Hi, Doug. So any questions from our community supporters, want to know where their funds went on these projects? If you have more questions, please ask. What will you do with the food that you grow?
So this year, I'm still working on figuring out plans for the food since we planted somewhat late in the season, so they'll be blooming over the summer. But I'm thinking of working with the Green Team Club at my high school since they'll be running programs for students over the summer. And then next year, there's someone from the district that actually contacted me since they're working on making like cooking program for school gardens around the district.
Ah, so cool. All right. Could she give us a quick overview of the plan? It was hard to hear in the video.
Oh yeah, so basically I want to teach about environmentalism to students and particularly ways that they can help like plant-based eating, but I think that a traditional classroom environment hasn't worked in the past. So bringing in the gardening element and giving hands-on like touching the dirt and seeing the actual difference that plants can make in the world is a really great way to teach about the environment.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shira. Congratulations on that connection with the district. That is real progress. All right. Any other comments or questions? Love the hands-on experience. Any other questions for Shira? I want to know, I know that you talked about the first day being kind of tricky. Can you talk about like how you pivoted or how you changed your kind of strategy for marketing the program at the school?
Yeah, so the first event that I held, which was to mix in the compost into the soil, I primarily used the parent e-news to advertise, and we ended up having more parents than the students actually there. And so for the next event where we were planting, I did a lot of advertising to the students themselves, like posters around the school, the broadcast morning news that they have at the school, and a couple of other advertising methods that were student focused.
Awesome. Yeah, I like how you really pivoted your approach there. It sounds like that was really successful. All right, let's give a hand to Shira. Awesome job, Shira. All right, so next up, we have SOS Children in Haiti. I know they're here all together.
Hey, we're SOS Children in Haiti. My name is Keisha. I'm from Haiti.
I'm Mina from Norway.
And I'm Valentina from Belgium. This is our impact video.
Gang violence is causing unrest in Haiti.
So the problem we have tried to solve through our project SOS Children in Haiti is that many children in Haiti are unable to go to school. This has become even more difficult now as the lack of electricity and gangs becoming a greater problem throughout the past months have threatened the lives of people and especially children. Some schools have even had to close as a result of the threat from the gangs. Therefore, the donations are even more valuable now, as helping children go to school is even more difficult, but also even more important. We are able to ensure that these 4 children we have helped have a place in school, which makes it possible for them to dream for their future.
What we have done as a solution, we send $460 to the association that we're working with in Haiti called Foyer Caritas to buy school supplies, notebook, pens, pencil, and pay school fees for 4 children. We send them letters and talk to them via WhatsApp video frequently. We mentor them and give them moral support.
None of this would have been possible without your help and support. Thanks to Annalise and our mentors for guiding us in our journey, but also a special thanks to our donors. We're very grateful to have obtained the funds to launch our project, and we now want to scale it and help even more children. Seeing the impact we have had motivated us even more to work on our project, raise funds, and have a greater impact. Thank you.
All right, let's give them a hand. Awesome job, ladies. Okay, so now we are going to have some questions for SOS Children in Haiti. Who has a question for this team? How did you choose which children to sponsor? Great question.
So we were in contact with the association called Foyer Caritas in Haiti, and they selected 4 children that they thought we could help.
Yeah.
And so we helped 4 boys from 8 to 12 years old.
Wonderful. Justin raised a hand. Okay. Great job, SOS. Wonderful to see your project have impact. Oh, Laura, we already asked Laura's question. Who has another question for this team?
So there's a question there. Do girls regularly go to school in Haiti?
Yes, but like a project was to help home street children, and the home street children is like 90% boys. We don't see girls in the street, because if it's girls, people have a tendency to help them more when they see girls. So girls are not in the street. So the aim of the project is to help like home street children. So it's more boys.
Excellent. Any more questions for SOS Children in Haiti? Do you want to talk about what it was like to be on the Zoom call with them and get to meet them?
What did you say?
Oh, do you want to talk about what it was like to meet them? I know you met them over Zoom.
Oh yeah, that was very, very nice, because like before that we had only talked to the people in the organization. So it felt like a bit distant, but when we actually got to talk to them, it was much more personal. And then we'll call them many times, and it's very, very nice. Yeah.
And we're really creating a kind of relationship with them, and we can see how much we have helped them, and they're really grateful for what we have done, and we're also learning a lot from them, from their resilience. And so it's really nice to be in contact with them.
Wonderful. And last question, will you be able to continue to support these 4 boys?
It's the end, like we leave, but I will continue the Changemaker leader pathway. So I just hope we can.
Yeah, we're gonna create an extracurricular activity on our campus. And so we will be still sending letters, and hopefully we'll be able to help even more children.
Yeah.
All right, let's give them a hand. Awesome job, ladies. What an amazing impact. Okay, so now we are going to hear from our last team, SOS Children in Haiti. I have not heard from that, or sorry, that's you. Our last team, SAPP, which is Students Against Period Poverty. So I have not heard from them yet, but they periodically have internet issues where they they don't, all of their power gets shut off. So that may be what happened today. And unfortunately, they can't be here, but hopefully we'll hear from them later if they're able to join later. But for now, we'll play their video. So you can go ahead and play that, Christina.
Never thought about the issue of menstrual hygiene. Collected stories of using stolen pillowcases, toilet paper, and most commonly brown paper grocery bags found on the street.
When we were talking to the girls, they'll tell you that they were using leaves, they were using cloth, or cow dung.
I'm Lily Lowe. I am Simulino Mukami.
And I'm Daniela Timu. And I'm Christina Schuzen.
We are the Changemakers, and this is what we've accomplished.
We started off by purchasing 1,000 pads. We then collected and cut up old clothes and materials for our reusable pad workshop at Tandokulu. We then went on the 9th of May to teach the girls how to sew reusable pads. The girls were very eager to learn, and we had loads of fun with them as well. The following week, we then dropped off the 1,000 disposable pads at Tandokulu High School. We truly had a great experience with Tandokulu and built good relationships with the girls. We have ordered another 1,000 pads, which we will be donating to Crystal House. We are also going to host another workshop at the school, but this will only be happening in the next 3 weeks since they are busy with exams at the moment.
Thank you so much to our philanthropists who donated to us.
Your donation changed women's lives.
All right, awesome job, Students Against Period Poverty. Let's give them a hand. Okay. And if anyone has questions about their project, I may be able to answer it because I know a lot about their project. So go ahead and put it in the chat if you have any questions that you're curious about. How did you learn to make reusable pads? Yeah, great question. They did a lot of research on that. They did a prototype and they got all the fabric they needed. I think they found some pattern online and they learned, how to sew and taught the kids to sew. Anyone else has a question for them? What is the school that did the SAPP project? It was Camps Bay. I think it's called Camps Bay High School in South Africa. Anybody else? Okay. All right. I want to ask us all to unmute for a moment, and let's give all of these amazing students a big round of applause. Excellent job, everybody. Amazing work. Wow, the collective impact that these students have made is really just incredible. And I'm so proud of you guys. It's truly amazing. All right, so I am gonna just make a quick announcement once again about our sponsors. I really want to thank our sponsors once again who have made this program possible. We're so grateful to all of them. And again, we have this opportunity. If you weren't here earlier, we have a special opportunity today. If you want to become a monthly supporter, if you saw these projects and you thought, wow, I want this program to reach even more changemakers and even more places, you can help us. You can become a monthly supporter. So you can give as little as $10 a month. A lot of folks on this call I know are monthly supporters. If anyone wants to sign up today by midnight tonight, we have a special promotion going on with our friends at Curacao, which happens to be the most amazing chocolate you've ever tasted. It's just incredible. I definitely highly recommend signing up as a monthly donor to get a free box of chocolate truffles from them. So you have to sign up by midnight tonight, and Maya, maybe you could put the link in the chat for folks to donate, and maybe also the link to Curacao so they can check out their amazing chocolates. And so everybody has that information. And then I also want to introduce what's happening next. So we're going to have breakout rooms. And as you can see here, we'll have 5 different rooms. And these are for all of our additional students to present their projects. So you can choose whatever room you'd like to go to. Christina's going to be setting up the breakout rooms and helping us out with that. And all of our mentors are going to be helping facilitate. So we have some wonderful mentors who have been supporting these students all throughout the whole school year. And you'll get to meet them in your breakout rooms. So we have Christina, we have Maya, Henrique, Almanpreet, and Lori. So they are here today helping us out with those breakout rooms. So take a look here to look at, you know, what breakout room you should go to. And then once Christina opens them up, you'll be able to choose your breakout rooms. All right, so actually, Persis, you also have this slide, I believe. So Persis is going to be hanging out here in the main room, and she's going to have the slide up. So in case you need help figuring out where to go, you can ask Persis for help. All right, so everybody knows where to go, which breakout room to go to. Okay, I'm going to stop my screen share now. And the rooms should be open for 35 minutes. Thank you, Christina. All right, so 35 minutes. And of course, you can bounce around between rooms, and you'll have a chance to ask questions from to the students directly, just like you did during this main session. All right, so I'm going to stop my share and come back to you all. And if you need help with the breakout rooms, just let us know. If you click down at the bottom of your Zoom window, there should be a more button, and that will allow you to go to your breakout rooms. Just click breakout rooms and then scroll down until you see the one that works for you. So I hope you enjoy all of your presentations that you get to watch, and feel free to come back here if you have any questions or if you need anything. All right, so welcome back, everybody. Let's go ahead and unmute and just give a huge round of applause to everyone who presented in our breakout rooms. Awesome job. I wanted to be in all of those rooms. It was incredible. It was hard to choose rooms because there were so many wonderful presentations going on. You guys did amazing. Feel free to put, comments in the chat if you have anything you want to share with the teams that you saw, any final kudos or words of encouragement that you want to share with our teams, you can go ahead and put that in the chat. And now I want to introduce some polls for our People's Choice Award. All right, so I'm going to open up the polls, and we're going to start with voting on our favorite team in the main room, and then we're going to get to vote on favorite teams in all the breakout rooms. So let's go ahead. I'm going to launch this poll now about your favorite team in the main room. So you should see a pop-up for your favorite team. You get to vote. Students, you can definitely vote for yourselves. That's okay. So go ahead and vote for your favorite team in the first People's Choice Award, and then we'll have one more for the additional breakout rooms. All right, looks like people are answering. You've got 31 folks have answered. Let's keep it going. We'll have another minute if you can vote for your favorite team. I know it's really hard because they were amazing. Students are going to be winning a prize. Each team that gets an award in the People's Choice Award is going to get a really cool board game. It's a Human Rights Edition card game that is designed to build empathy, and we're going to ship that out to all of our winning teams. So just a little prize to congratulate them on their hard work. And while we're waiting on the People's Choice Award, I had mentioned earlier that you could become a mentor, and maybe Maya, you could put the link for folks who want to sign up to support our students next year. You could put that in the chat, and everyone can just take a look and sign up if you'd like to become a mentor for us and support our changemakers. All right, I'm going to give it another 30 seconds if anybody else wants to answer. I'm seeing a pattern here. We've got a lot of folks centering on one team. I'm really excited to announce the winners. Okay, thank you, Maya. So she put the link to become a mentor in the chat, so go ahead and check that out. So 10 seconds, go ahead and vote if you haven't already. Okay. I think that's, we're still getting more votes in. Go ahead and vote if you haven't already. We've got a few more people haven't voted. All right. I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds, ready? And I'm gonna close the poll. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Eli, there's not a link. It should be in your Zoom window. You should be able to see it in your Zoom window. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll and I'm gonna tell the winners. All right, so let's see. We have in third place, I'm gonna announce third place first, is and let's all unmute and give him a hand, Eli with Let Richmond Breathe. All right, congratulations, Eli. Third place, awesome job. Okay, second place, drum roll, is Net Zero, Ali Cooper, great job. Okay, and now the moment you've been waiting for, the #1 winner for the People's Choice Award in the main room is Cynthia Hahn with Asian Pride Books. Awesome job. Yay. Wonderful job, Cynthia. Okay, so what we are going to do next is I am going to try to launch our next poll. Let's see. Now these are the breakout room favorites. So if you went to a breakout room, you can go ahead and vote. For every choice in the poll, you can choose to say that you weren't in that room and abstain from voting. So if you didn't see the presentations in a given room, just don't vote for that room to keep it fair. And I'll go ahead and launch this now. So you can go ahead and choose your favorite team in each breakout room. And of course, most of you just stayed in one, so that's fine. You can just answer for the rooms that you were in. And we'll share the results in a couple minutes. All right, so I see. Okay, so the mentor link, we'll share that again in the chat here if you want to become a mentor. Okay, that's the link. Oh, that's not the mentor link, sorry. Not sure what that is. Okay, Maya reshared it. Thank you so much, Maya. And then actually one more thing, Maya, could you share the page about our mini grants? If anybody wants to apply for a mini grant this summer, you have a week and a half left before the deadline. If you want to apply to win a mini grant for a diet change for climate change related project. So if you want to promote plant-based eating, we're giving out mini grants, 10 more days to apply till June 15th. And yeah, go ahead and put that in the chat if you can, Maya, our mini grants page. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so we are almost done with the voting. I'm gonna give it like 30 more seconds if anybody else wants to vote. Go ahead and finish voting. I know this one takes longer because there are more questions. But we've got some, I think we've got some winners showing up here. This is exciting. All right. A few more seconds to vote.
Does the vote receive submit? I'm not able to submit on the vote.
You're not able to submit the vote. Is anybody else having that problem?
You need to click on I'm not in this room and all the 4 that you didn't join, and only click on the thing you did join, because then it doesn't let you.
Thank you so much, Keelan. All right, and while you're all voting, I'm just going to do a quick screen share here. I want to share another thank you, another shout out to our sponsors. I want to thank Curacao for the chocolate donation, for all of our monthly donors and anyone who signs up today by midnight. Maya, maybe you can put the link in the chat one more time for our donation opportunity. If anybody wants to sign up to become a monthly donor, giving as little as $10 a month, you can get a wonderful gift of a box of chocolate truffles from Curacao, organic chocolate. I want to thank the Pollination Project and North Berkeley Wealth Management. They've been huge supporters of us over the years. They've funded projects at all of our Global Pitch events. And so a lot of the projects that you saw here today were funded by them. Thank you so much, Pollination Project and North Berkeley Wealth Management. I want to thank Wix for donating premium website subscriptions to 10 of our teams at Global Pitch this year so that they could have professional websites for their projects. I want to thank First Republic Bank, who has sponsored this event for the 2nd year in a row. And I want to thank Umano Foundation for supporting our work so generously with a grant for the work that we do. All right, so thank you to our sponsors. Let's all unmute for a moment and just give our sponsors a hand. Thank you so much, sponsors. This is not possible without you. Thank you so much. All right, so another thing, I have some more thank yous that I wanna say, but first, let me get back to my poll here. See if I can get to it. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna end the poll, but first, get back to, okay. So I'm gonna end the poll in 5 seconds, 4, 3, hopefully everybody voted, 2, 1, okay. I'm ending the poll. All right, so let's take a look at our winners. Okay, we have in the animal group, in the animal breakout room, the winner is, drum roll, the Taji Dolphin Hunt. All right, congratulations. Give them a hand. Thank you, Taji Dolphin Hunt. Great work. Okay, and the winner in the environment group, drum roll. Okay, it is Plastics Go. Congratulations, Plastics Go. Awesome job. All right, now we have the health group. We had a lot of teams in the health group, and this was a really close race. There were a lot of good ones in there, but the winner was Trade Insta Sadness for Insta Fun. Awesome job. All right, wonderful. Let's keep on going. We have 2 more groups. In the social justice group, it was also a close race, but the winner was Community Corners. Congratulations, Community Corners. All right. And finally, the youth group, we have a winner. Drum roll. Final winner is Children Not Wives. All right. Working on ending child marriage in the US, which I did not even realize was a thing until I learned from them about it. So my students are teaching me all the time. All right, let's unmute and just give all of these students a huge round of applause for their amazing work. Great job, everybody. You guys are amazing. All right, students, do you want to say any final words? Any of our winners especially want to comment? Allie is so inspired by everyone's work. Awesome. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to choose people who I see here who won. I know. Let's see. Audrey, I see you. I'm going to spotlight you for a minute. What do you have to say, Audrey?
Well, I just want to thank all my teachers, and this project has been such a rewarding experience, and I'm so happy that my presentations were able to make such a big impact on many students, and as well as my Instagram account. So just thank you so much to all of your support.
Aw, thank you so much, Audrey. Congratulations. Okay, let's see who else was a winner and wants to share. How about the Taji Dolphin Hunt? You guys want to go ahead? I think they're still here, hopefully.
Yeah, we just also want to thank our teachers and anyone who donated to our GoFundMe page. We really appreciate any help that we got in this project, and we wouldn't have done it without anyone.
Aw, thank you. Awesome. Great work. Okay, and how about Plastics Go? Would you like to share?
Sure. I really enjoyed participating in this project, and also really enjoyed hearing other people's work. So thank you for this opportunity.
All right, awesome. Awesome job. Okay, let's see who else we've got. We had Audrey spoke. And how about Community Corners? Is anybody here from Community Corners?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, you want to go ahead and share with us, how are you feeling?
So I just want to thank my teachers for having the social justice pathway at Gun, which brought me here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matthew. All right, let's give him a hand. Okay, and finally, I think, well, no, we have 2 more. So I'm going to spotlight Children Not Wives. Are you guys here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to obviously thank all my teachers for supporting me during my journey, and also it was really cool to see everyone's projects and what they've been working on, and I'm very glad that I participated in this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's give her a hand. Okay, and finally is Cynthia Hahn here, the winner of the main room. Let's go ahead and spotlight.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good. I was not expecting to win. Thank you so much to everyone who supports me, especially my teachers and my donors who donate a lot of money to make this possible. I really cannot have done this without their help. This was a great opportunity.
Awesome. All right, let's give her a hand. Awesome job, Cynthia. I can't wait to check out your book. All right, so that concludes. I want to give just some final thank yous before we conclude this event. We have a lot of people who made this possible. So first off, I already thanked our sponsors. I want to also thank our community supporters. I know Doug was here. I'm not sure if Christian and Gina are here. Other community supporters, anybody raise a hand. You guys are amazing. You funded so many projects. I'm so grateful that you could be part of the global pitch and support so many of our students' work. Thank you so much for supporting them and for being here. I want to thank all of our monthly donors who give each month, whether it's $10 or $100 to the Changemaker Project to help us make this work possible. I see a lot of you in the audience, and I'm just so grateful that you are here to support us, both financially and with the support of your presence today. Thank you so much for helping us to make this program possible. I want to thank our teachers. We have a couple of teachers in the audience today. We have Ms. Della Porta. Let's see, we have, I saw Jennifer from Byram Hills, and I saw Karen Quantic from Cheshire, and I know Dignity is here as well. Thank you. And if I'm forgetting one, David Wu is here as well. Any other teachers in the audience? We got lots of teachers who came to support us, and I just want to say the teachers do a tremendous amount behind the scenes with this program. Our program is online and we have our Zoom calls, but in addition to that, the teachers are working with them day in and day out to support them on their projects, to teach them the lessons and the curriculum. And I know for myself as a former teacher, it's a tremendous amount of work. And let's just give a huge hand to our teachers, everybody. Let's give them a round of applause. Awesome job. Thank you so much for making this program possible. We couldn't do it without you. I also want to thank our interns. I want to thank Henrique, Lori, Amanpreet, Christina, and Maya, and Persis. Thank you all for being here, running our breakout rooms, and supporting these students throughout the entire school year to make these projects so successful. You guys are amazing, and the students are so lucky to have you. Am I right? All right. I also want to thank parents. I know that you have done a lot behind the scenes as well to help your students with their projects. I'm sure you've helped them practice making their videos, and you're here today to support them. So thank you so much, parents. Let's give a hand to our parents. Thank you so much. All right, and finally, I want to thank our students for being here and for just giving us so much inspiration today. It is incredible to see the impact of your projects, especially after watching Global Pitch and just seeing the ideas that you had and the passion that you had, and now seeing it really turned into action is just truly incredible. And I'm sure that folks in the audience agree that this is just such an inspiring event. You guys give us hope for the future, and I'm so grateful to get to work with you each and every day, each and every week on our Zoom calls. It's been such a joy. I love this work because of you, and I feel like the world is going to be a better place because all of you are in it. So let's give a big hand to our students, everybody. Let's unmute, give a hand. Awesome job, everybody. All right, well, that concludes our Changemaker Showcase. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And I will follow up with an email with some links of how you can get more involved if you want to become a mentor, or if you have a school that you want to connect us to. We love it when you help us spread the word. So thank you all for being here, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday.